Hello everyone and welcome back to another video by Qubrid AI. In today's video, we are going to learn about how to use the Hermes agent with any OpenAI compliant API which you want to use. And if you haven't heard about it, it's a trending agent. It's similar to OpenClaw in some aspects, but it might differ as well in terms of performance. So many people are using it. People are using billions of tokens, using any model which they want, and that is how they have been using this agent. This is an agent similar to OpenClaw, so you can learn more about the Hermes agent in their website directly. This video in particular will focus on how to use the Hermes agent with any OpenAI compliant API key or slash provider, right? So to use this Hermes agent with Qubrid AI APIs or any model which you might want, this is how you do it. Right? The first step is, of course, to go to their GitHub repository, which is this. You can go. We'll put this in the description down below also for people who don't have access to it. It's a simple Google search away. Once you have access to this, you can just scroll down in the README and you can see about how to install it, right? If you are a Mac OS user, you can just copy this step and you can paste it. If you are not a Mac OS user, if you're a Windows user, for example, I'm a Windows user, so I can just copy this. Make sure you have PowerShell, so everybody has PowerShell. Open PowerShell and just paste this command and hit enter. What it will do is it will start initializing to install the Hermes agent, right? It will do some steps and we'll wait till then. Now, it also might say that parts of this app has been blocked because of different features and functions. So what you need to do is you need to go to the Windows settings and disable the smart app control for the time you are installing this Hermes agent, right? And once it's off, you'll be able to install it without any problems. Now, this dependent on you. If you don't want to disable it, don't do it. Then, but it might cause issues while installation. So I have disabled it temporarily. I'll enable it again back when it's already done. So just make sure you take your own choice, right? It can be harmful also. So for other applications, this particular agent, which as of now, which we're using, we want to use it since you have disabled it. If you want to enable it, then you might have to find some other way around, right? So let's say it says that restore local changes now, just hit on no. I have installed the Hermes agent previously, so it might have got some previous things. For your case, it should not be visible. It will just try to install it freshly, right? Once it's done installing, you'll be able to see as in how to go through all the different steps. Now make sure while we are doing this, you need to log into your Qubrid AI account. Once you have logged in, you need to make sure you have enough credits. If not, just go ahead and hit the add credits option and just come here and add as many credits as you want. Once you're done, you'll be able to see the available credits in this part. You'll require an API key for this thing. And also we have all different models which you can use. Personally, we have seen DeepSeek Flash to be the cheapest and cost-effective version. So we'll just keep it ready and keep the API key ready maybe. And do not forget to check it. Let's see. It says, how do you want to set up Hermes, right? It says the first one is a quick setup, which will take you to their portal. It will have no API keys and all those different kind of stuff. But if you need to configure everything by yourself, which is of course everybody would want that, configure every provider, tool options yourself. You can bring in your own keys in this step. So make sure you hit 2 and press enter. 2 as in you need to select this option, right? Once you're done, just hit enter. It will then ask you a few questions. Select the provider, as in which inference provider do you want, right? You might have seen I have already used the provider that is Qubrid AI earlier. That's why it shows for me what is the current agent for this set. But for your use case, you need to hit this option, right? Custom endpoint. You need to hit the option 31, and then hit enter. So the numberings might be different for you. For me, as Qubrid is already added, hence I'm unable to see this. For you, normally it won't be visible because you might not have added it in the beginning. So just hit custom endpoint 31 and hit enter. Once you're done, it will ask you for the API base URL. Now, what is the base URL? When you go back to your Qubrid AI platform, you will be able to see that this is the base URL for Qubrid, right? Same across all the modules on Qubrid platform. It's platform.qubrid.com/v1. Just go back to the PowerShell and hit enter. Just paste the API URL, base API URL, and hit enter. It will also ask you for the API key. To generate an API key, you can click on this option, which will take you to another page, hit another option, and make it name as Hermes Agent, just for you to understand at a later point in time about why you did not create the exact API key. We'll recommend you to set an expiration date because it's always good to, set a date, right? depends on you, and then click on Create API. Once done, copy it. So done, just make sure you keep it somewhere safe and secure because this is displayed only once. If you lose this, you'll need to regenerate a new one. Now, if you ask about how do I identify which API key did I use, you can use it by the first few characters that will always be shown to you, as you can see in the inference key, and all the other parts will be shown as stars. You'll also need to give a good name so that you may be able to understand where have you used the exact API key, just for you to make sure you do not not lose track of all the API keys you have generated, right? Just once you have copied this section, close it and head back to the PowerShell. Paste the API key and hit enter. Now it will take some time and it will ask you about select API compatibility mode. You can either set it to auto detect, but for now, as our APIs are OpenAI compliant endpoints, so you can need to choose option number 2, that is chat completions, which is standard for across all OpenAI compatible endpoints. Hit enter. Now it will ask you for the model name. So it depends on you and which model do you want to use. You can head back to our docs and you can see the entire pricing of what exactly or how exactly does it look. For example, just click on the serverless models and it will be able to see the pricing of all the different models which we have at Qubrid. If you see, there are many chat models, there are vision models. For this particular one, we'll be using DeepSeek V4 Flash, right? Let's head back to the platform. You can either search for DeepSeek, the Flash model V4 from here, and copy it, the name of this model. As you can see, this exact thing. It is also in our docs, so just click here to copy it. And once you have copied it, you can go back to the PowerShell and paste it. Once done, hit enter. It will ask that what is the context length in tokens. You can leave it blank. Depends, it's variable, right? It asks for a display name. Maybe name it as Qubrid platform. This is totally dependent on you. Or name it anything. Now it asks about how do you want to run the terminal backend, right? So it will ask you. So you can either run it locally, or through Docker, or through SSH, or through some other providers, right? For now, what you can do is just hit option 1. That is the one which will allow you to run this locally on your machine, and hit enter. It will now ask you that which platform do you want to configure: Telegram, Slack, WhatsApp, Signal, email, SMS. Depends. If you want to use any of these while using the Hermes agent, make sure you do so. If not, you can just skip it. For me personally, I'll skip it because you'll have to follow some additional steps for the integrations, which you can follow. But for now, I'll just skip it. Hit enter to skip, right? Then it will ask you for which tools do you want to use, right, for the CLI. You'll be able to see some of the tools are already pre-selected. Web search is pre-selected. Browser automation is there. Image generation, they're pre-selected. If you want to add anything more, for example, let's say X search, right? It will require X AI OAuth or a X API key, maybe Spotify, maybe some home assistant, right? If you want to control home devices directly from your CLI and all those kind of stuff, you can do it from in that pocket. For now, the default looks good to me, so I'll just hit enter. Then it will ask you for a provider, right? Provider for what? It will ask you a provider for browser automation. You can choose the local browser, which is recommended and of course free. It's a headless Chromium and will not require any API keys. If you require one, you can choose Firecrawl, Camfox, or any of the ones which are listed there. For now, the default looks good to me because it's local. The next thing it will ask you, how do you want to use the image generation, right? You can skip this if you don't want to use the image generation. If you want to use it, you can either go back to the providers which are mentioned in this part. You can skip it if you don't want to use it, or maybe keep it to default, right? Image generation capabilities, if you don't want, you can let it stay as it is. Hit enter. And it will say default choice was 1. So just a minute. Just hit 1. I entered 1 by default. You can choose 7 in this one. You see, I selected 1, that is the subscription part. Default choice was 1. I hit enter. Hence it asked me it requires a portal or something, but I do not require that, right? I should have selected 7. That's fine. I just kept it in the next step, right? The next step is to choose the provider for TTS. The first one is free, so just hit enter. A search provider. Now you can again see, you can either skip these things or you can choose the free options which are there. For now, I'll just skip it because I don't require it. I'll hit enter. Once it's available, it will give you details of your entire setup, right? And it will give you a list of commands as in which you might want to, for example, if you want to rerun the entire wizard, change the model provider or something, change the model also, and all those stuff. Now it seems the agent is all good to go. Now what you need to do is just type Hermes, right? H-E-R-M-E-S, hit on enter. Take some time. Now make sure this thing is off, or else it might cause concerns or problems in this exact part. It might give some terminal error. If it gives some error, then you need to turn it off. If not, then you're good to go. But always make sure that you do your due diligence before turning this off. Right? You can see, there we go. The Hermes agent is live. Now you see I have selected the DeepSeek V4 Flash model from the Qubrid APIs, which we just implemented a few minutes ago, right? To check the performance, as in how many tokens does it use and all those kind of things, you can just go to the Qubrid platform, click on API logs. As you can see, the last API log is from quite a bit ago, right? What you can do is that you can go back to the agent and you can type, right? For example, what can you do? Hit enter. It will initialize the agent and it will use DeepSeek V4 Flash. It'll give you the answers. It supports streaming and all this stuff. It supports many different things. There are tools like browser tools, there's code execution, cron job, productivity tools, many things are there. And you see, it started working. In the backend, it's using the DeepSeek V4 Flash model, which we have allowed it to use. To go back here, you see the last entry was 321. If we just refresh it, you'll see the two API calls were made, right? The first one cost me near about this much. Second one cost me near about this much dollars. So it's good. It's cheap. The tokens, you can see the number of input tokens, the number of output tokens, and the API key which was being used. This one is the one which we're using currently, right? So that is about how to use the Hermes agent using the Qubrid AI platform, right? Now you can use it with any model provider you want. Why use it in Qubrid in particular? The only reason is that we allow you access to many different models. We are directly partnered with the model providers, Minimax, Qwen. We are partnered with Moonshot. We are partnered with ZAI. Every model provider out there to provide you the best performance of when it comes to APIs, so that you can get into production right away. That is about how to use the Hermes agent on Qubrid. Now, once you are done with all these things and you are done, you would want to close it. You can do many things, right? It's similar to OpenClaw. So it already gives you, it tells you that you can run terminal, you can do memory management, doing all kinds of automation, WhatsApp, maybe Telegram, whatever different kinds of integrations were there, you can look into it. Smart Home, Google Workspace, Notion, Airtel Bill, PowerPoint, PDF editing, and many things more, right? There's endless possibilities. So if you want to use the Hermes agent, make sure you use it with a good model, right? Which allows more intelligence. DeepSeek V4 Flash in particular has good intelligence, right? It has a good amount of parameters, good context window, as well as it's the cheapest one out there for these kind of works as of now, right? You can use any model which you want. We have support to all different models, as already showed. You can use Minimax M3, Qwen 3.7 Max, plus any model which you want to use. And you can integrate with all of your providers, whichever you want to use this agent in your local machine, right? So once done, you can just hit Control+C, which will take you out of the Hermes agent, right? And then maybe you can type Hermes exit. It'll exit you from that very part, right? And let's say after that, if you want to uninstall the entire thing, you can just type Hermes uninstall. Once you have done it, will ask you the uninstall options: keep data, full uninstall, or don't uninstall. I can just select 2 because I want to uninstall for full. Type yes. Once you are done, it will be uninstalling it completely. There are some things which it could not have removed. You may need to manually remove it, so you can do that. But that was it about how to use the Hermes agent. Once done, go back to the API key section and make sure you revoke the API key or delete the API key, because giving the access to the API key to anybody is straight away giving up access to your entire account. And that is how we use different models through Qubrid on the Hermes agent. If you have any questions, we'll be adding a documentation for this shortly. If you have any questions till then, you can join our Discord channel. You can ask us for support. Our team is there to help you 24/7. In case you have more questions, you can ask us in the comments down below. If you watched it till the end, let us know about how do you plan to use the Hermes agent in your local machine. We can't wait to see what you're building. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe it to your friends who are trying out the Hermes agent, and do recommend them to use it via Qubrid AI APIs. That is it from my side. If you have any more questions, feel free to put it down in the comments or connect with me. Thank you for watching till the end of this video. Bye-bye.